First Chronicles chapter 1, verse 1. The descendants of Adam were Seth, Enosh, verse 2, Canaan, Mahalalel, Jared, verse 3, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, verse 4, and Noah. The sons of Noah were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Verse 5. The descendants of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshish, and Tiras. Verse 6. The descendants of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Raphihath, and Togoma. Verse 7. The descendants of Javan were Elishah, Tharshish, Kittim, and Rodanim. Verse 8. The descendants of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Verse 9. The descendants of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sapta, Ramah, and Saptika. The descendants of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Verse 10. Cush was also the ancestor of the Nimrod, who was the first heroic warrior on earth. Verse 11. Mizraim was the ancestor of the Ludites, Anamites, Lehabites, Naphthites. Verse 12. Pathrusites, Cashruhites, and Kaphurites, from whom the Philistines came. Verse 13. Canaan's oldest son was Sidon, the ancestor of the Sidonians. Canaan was also the ancestor of the Hittites. Verse 14. Jebusite, Amorite, Girgashite. Verse 15. Hivite, Arkite, Sinite. Verse 16. Avadite, Zemarite, and Hamathite. Verse 17. The descendants of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Afsad, Lud, and Aram. The descendants of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Verse 18. Afzad was the father of Shelah. Shelah was the father of Eber. Verse 19. Eber had two sons. The first was Peleg, which means division, for during his lifetime the people of the world were divided into different language groups. His brother's name was Joktan. Verse 20. Joktan was the ancestor of the Amodad, Seleph, Hazamovit, and Zerah. Verse 21. Hadoram, Uzzah, Dekla. Verse 22. Obal, Abimel, Sheba. Verse 23. Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were descendants of Joktan. Verse 24. So this is the family line descended from Shem, Afzad, and Shelah. Verse 25. Eber, Peleg, Roi. Verse 26. Sirach, Nahor, Thera. Verse 27. And Abram, later known as Abraham. Verse 28. The sons of Abraham were Isaac and Ishmael. Verse 29. These are their genealogical records. The sons of Ishmael were Nebaioth, the oldest, Kedar, Adbel, and Mibsam. Verse 30. Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema. Verse 31. Jephthah, Naphshish, and Kedema. These were the sons of Ishmael. Verse 32. The sons of Keturah, Abram's concubine, were Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. The sons of Jokshan were Sheba and Dedan. Verse 33. The sons of Midian were Ifha, Ife, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. All these were descendants of Abraham through his concubine Keturah. Verse 34. Abraham was the father of Isaac. The sons of Isaac were Esau and Israel. Verse 35. The sons of Esau were Eliphaz, Roy, Jush, Jelam, and Korah. Verse 36. The descendants of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zipho, Gatham, Kenaz, and Amalek, who was born to Timnah. Verse 37. The descendants of Roy were Nahat, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizzah. Verse 38. The descendants of Seah were Lothan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. Verse 39. The descendants of Lothan were Hori and Hemam. Lothan's sister was named Timnah. Verse 40. The descendants of Shobal were Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, and Omnam. The descendants of Zibeon were I and Anna. Verse 41. The sons of Anna were Dishon. The descendants of Dishon were Hemdan, Ishban, Ithran, and Kiran. Verse 42. The descendants of Ezer were Bilhan, Zavan, and Akan. The descendants of Dishan were Uz and Aran. Verse 43. These are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before any king ruled over the Israelites. Bela son of Beor, who ruled from his city of Dinhaba. Verse 44. When Bela died, Jobab of Zerah from Bozrah became king in his place. Verse 45. When Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites became king in his place. Verse 46. When Husham died, Hadad son of Bedad became king in his place and ruled from the city of Avite. He was the one who destroyed the Midianite army in the land of Moab. Verse 47. When Hadad died, Samlah from the city of Masrekah became king in his place. Verse 48. When Samlah died, Shaul from the city of Rehoboth on the river became king in his place. Verse 49. When Shaul died, Baal-Hanan son of Akbor became king in his place. Verse 50. When Baal-Hanan died, Hadad became king in his place and ruled from the city of Pau. His wife was Mahithabel, the daughter of Mathrad and granddaughter of Mizahab. Verse 51. When Hadad died, the clan leaders of Edom were Timnah, Alva, and Jokthah. Verse 52. Oholibama, Elah, Penon. Verse 53. Kenaz, Teman, Mizar. Verse 54. Magdal, Iram. These are the clan leaders of Edom. Amen.